We acknowledge the Wurundjeri people and their elders as the traditional custodians of this land on which we are enjoying serenity as we seek to add to our knowledge.
We acknowledge the connection that Wurundjeri people have to the lands where we meet today. We pay our respect to elders, past, present, and emerging.
We recognize the stories, traditions, and the living cultures of the Wurundjeri people and commit to building a bright future together.
We are grateful for working on this land. We thank them for welcoming us. We will aim to care for their land, waterways, and animals.
We touch the ground of the Wurundjeri land. We reach for the sky of the Wurundjeri land, and we touch our hearts for the care of the Wurundjeri land.
Hi, Jean.
Hi, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. We are living on the Wurundjeri land. Do you know what's the meaning of the Wurundjeri?
Yes, I did some research, and what I found was the word Wurundjeri comes from the Wurrung language word Wurun, meaning the managam, which is a particular species of a tree, together with the graph found near the tree, the jiri, along with Birorong, means Yarra River. Wurundjeri are the Witchery Grab people, and their ancestors have lived on this land for millennia.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting.
What about you, Jean? What information did you find during your research?
Yes, I also did some research into Wurundjeri people's history, and I found it very fascinating. In 1863, they established the Wurundjeri Aboriginal Station as a reserve for Aboriginal people of South Central Victoria. This reserve operated under Australia's first administrative framework to manage Aboriginal affairs. So there were many pioneers, such as Simon Wanga, William Barrack, and Annie, who contributed to establishment of the reserve. So Wurundjeri people fought for their self-governance, and their effort is often cited as among the first Indigenous campaign for land rights and self-determination.
I found that very interesting, Jean. Thank you so much for sharing. Our team members, Adi and Irene, have research about service provided and would like to share it on the next slide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Irene.
Hi, Heidi.
Today, we want to introduce the information that we gathered of the services that the Wurundjeri people provide to the community. Could you tell us about them?
Thank you, Heidi. We've gathered quite a bit of information on the Wurundjeri people and the services that they provide. And some of these include information on cultural heritage, about natural resource management, about cultural practices for events, and they also provide cultural consultations, and they offer language services as well as naming services and education, tours, and cross-cultural awareness training, and they also do research to meet learning needs. So Heidi, from among these services, would you like to expound a little bit more on the education services that we looked into?
Yeah, sure. They provide educational services to preschool, primary school, and secondary school, like the storytelling and the smoking ceremony, because they believe it's best to learn from the Wurundjeri educators. They also offer tailored culture awareness and professional development sessions for the higher education, non-for-profit, and for government and corporate sectors. They also offer cultural walks and experience to encourage the people to connect to the land.
Oh, thank you, Heidi. I can see that the Wurundjeri people are really going out of their way to make sure that the services provide the needed education to make people culturally aware.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Irene. So in the coming slide, please enjoy watching our cultural tour.
After the research, how would you like to introduce the Indigenous culture and the knowledge into your practice?
Yes. For
me, I will use a t-shirt and fallen leaves to create original flags with my children.
Oh, that's nice. I
Thank
like
you.
the idea of using the
Thank
leaves.
you.
Yeah. For me, I think I'll do storytelling stones. Where can I get the children to yarn their own stories and connect it with the knowledge that they learned about the Aboriginal culture?
That's an awesome idea. For me, I'll create an indigenous musical instruments area and for children to explore.
That's really good. For me, I'll create an Indigenous hands display so children can explore their creativity while learning about culture.
Love it.
So I will make messaging sticks with my children where you use the stick to pass on the message. And then in our quest, we decided to get to know more about the Wurundjeri people's culture.
Yes.
So we reached out to the Wurundjeri Wurrung Cultural Heritage Corporation to organize a smoking ceremony. And we had the honor to meet Uncle Roger. And Erin here, on behalf of our group, will discuss more about what happened at her center.
Questions for you in regard to the smoking ceremony. So who can perform a smoking ceremony?
Smoking ceremonies have been performed by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people for thousands of years, and only the First Nation people can perform a smoking ceremony.
Oh, that's interesting. And what does the smoking ceremony do?
A smoking ceremony can cleanse people and places of bad spirits and treat sickness. It also connects people to the country and keeps them safe from the dangerous powers of spiritual being residing in the land and water.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, my last question is, on what occasions do the First Nation people host the smoking ceremony?
Smoking ceremonies are used for burial, celebration, healing, and clearance. It is a gesture of goodwill, bringing people together, and it is a gift and a blessing from the First Nation people. Importantly, it is a way of connecting with the country by speaking to and acknowledging the ancestors.
Oh, thank you so much, Erin. That's very interesting knowledge. Thanks. I have another question for you. What have the children learned from participating into the smoking ceremony?
Through this event, children are provided opportunities to develop social and cultural heritage through engagement with Wurundjeri elder Uncle Roger, which also assists our children in developing cultural awareness, being cultural sensitive, and respecting diversity. We actually had an opportunity to interview Uncle Roger, which I'm going to present it in the next 2 slides.
Thanks, Erin.
Before the interview with Uncle Roger, our team members had a brainstorming session together to discuss what questions we should ask in the interview. After discussion, we picked one question that we are all interested in. Erin will introduce the interview next.
Uncle Roger was very happy to see we have so many Aboriginal resources available at our centre, and he was proud to see we displayed Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's flags in our foyer. He felt very welcome at our centre. In responding to our question, he suggests we need to plant the seeds into children's hearts as early as possible. Introduce Indigenous culture to our children, invite local elders to interact with our children. Then we are on the right track. He said to us, keep up the great work.
After doing my research and learning more about the Wurundjeri people and going on the cultural tour to the bush and doing the acknowledgement of country myself, it helped me understand more about the different ways that I could encourage the children to connect to the Aboriginal culture. I personally feel more connected to the land and more eager to learn about it. The experience that I will plan for my children will have deeper meaning that respects and increases the knowledge of the Indigenous cultures.
I benefit a lot from this special Wurundjeri culture and history research. The first benefit I felt is that I should be able to design and deliver better programs to the children in my room with my better understanding of Wurundjeri culture and history. The second benefit, I was really inspired by Wurundjeri people's pioneering spirit. They were and are standing up for themselves and protect this sacred land. Sometimes I ask myself as an educator and an adult, what kind of belief or spirit we should aim to pass on to our next generation. After reflecting on this special journey, I believe Wurundjeri people's persistency and independency is a spirit we need to teach our children.
Through my whole journey of exploring the Wurundjeri culture and a visit to the Currawong Bush Park, I have gained deep insights onto the Australia's First Peoples, deep respect for culture, for language, and for resources. I have come to appreciate their resilience and their sacred connection to the land. I have come to appreciate their sustainable ways of sourcing just what they need to make sure that the next generation has something. It has made me reflect on issues such as how can I embed this learning into my program to make sure that it's not tokenistic and only spoken about during occasions such as NAIDOC Week. I ask myself, how can I make this part of my children's daily routine, and how can I make it visible throughout the curriculum and throughout the room? I'm deeply grateful for this experience, and I'm more determined than ever to make sure that these enduring cultures continue living on in my children. Thank you so much.
From our tour and readings, I've gained understanding about Indigenous Australian people have the knowledge to heal the land and help others to do the same. It made me feel more connected to their ways and beliefs. The importance of this has made me realize that we can only benefit from all these riches in everyday life, and therefore needs and deserves respect. As an early childhood teacher, I would like to continue further my knowledge about Aboriginal culture and teach children to respect country.
My yearning to this journey. As an early childhood educator, my role is complex. I struggled to balance work, study, and life. The cultural tour with my team members provides such an excellent opportunity for me to connect to the land and country. It gives me a sense of place and meaning with the everlasting land. I appreciate the energy from the land, and it assists me in finding the balance in my heart again. Thank you.